gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, there's been some talk here lately, and it's kind of sped up in the last couple days. The possibility of 2311 switching forward. Kind of want to go ahead and give my 2 cents on it since it's kind of a hot topic right now. I did kind of look into some things. So Denny's deal with Joe Gibbs, he said it is complicated. Okay, what does that mean? Well, if Joe Gibbs is Toyota, 2311 is in talks moving to Ford, there's no way that the owner of one team can drive for a different manufacturer. If we go back in the history of NASCAR, there's only been a couple times where a driver drove for one team and owned another one. Denny Hamlin, 2311, and then Dale Earnhardt with DEI. DEI was Chevrolet, so was Childress Racing, Toyota here, KBM. It's always been matched the manufacturer that Kyle drove for, just like when Kyle moved to RCR, Toyota moved to Chevrolet, or KBM moved to Chevrolet. So we know that's a stopping point. Now also, is there another deal in place there that the number 11, is that a stopping point? Is that something that's complicated as well? Because you think if Denny leaves Joe Gibbs, he's going to want to take the number 11 with him. Toyota's deal with, or 2311's deal with Toyota ends at the end of 23, so it ends the end of this year. Okay, we know that the charter agreement ends at the end of 24. The current TV deal ends at the end of 24. If 2311 switched to Ford from Toyota, and Denny has to leave 2311, where does he go? Does he go to his own team in the non-chartered? Now, if you look at another Ford team, Stewart-Haas, they are losing Kevin Harvick to retirement. We don't know for sure what's going on with Eric Almirola. Rumor has it he's retiring. They have Chase Briscoe. They have Ryan Preece. They have Josh Berry set to replace the 4. They also lost Anheuser-Busch as a sponsor on that 4 car. So sponsorship's a deal. Is there a possible, one of the rumors is, again, I don't like rumors, but there's a handful of people that I follow on social media that when they say stuff, it makes you kind of perk up and go, really? Those people are going to be Bob Pockrass, Jordan Bianchi, Kelly Crandall, Adam Stern, Lee Spencer, and any of the XM Satellite, NASCAR Channel 90 folks, and then MRN and PRN folks. Typically, those people are entwined within the NASCAR world. They're not going to report something that's going to be completely off the wall. Lee Spencer on PRN Live with Doug Rice were talking about the very same thing. That's what made me go, what? Something's not, they've been talking about on Channel 90 XM Satellite Radio, Channel 90 NASCAR. It's complicated, yeah, exactly. Now, if we look back at the history of Joe Gibbs, Furniture Row, Barney Vester out in Denver, Colorado, the number 78. They won a championship with MTJ. 2 years later, because of how much the alliance with Joe Gibbs cost, they went out of business. Levine Family Racing, the price of what that alliance cost, it was a different level of it, but still, that put Bob Levine out of the sport. Is it not cost effective for these teams to work with Joe Gibbs Racing? I don't know. I just know we get 2 presidents, we get a third one getting ready to happen possibly. So let's say 2311, they did meet with Ford in Michigan a couple weeks ago. Now, from my knowledge of big business, especially this big a business, that probably wasn't the first conversation that was had. My guess is there was phone conversations, there were more than likely emails, and then face-to-face. So, what other conversations? How far along is this? Is that why Denny hasn't signed a deal? Now, it also follows, okay, if 2311 thinks the best thing for 2311 is switching to Ford, and Denny has to leave Joe Gibbs Racing, the sponsors on that 11 car, do they go with Denny, or are they with the team? Some of them we don't know. FedEx has been with him a while, but FedEx was already with Joe Gibbs when he signed. Charters is an issue. There is a rumor that Stewart-Haas may be looking to sell and or lease 2 charters. When that new TV deal gets signed, the value of charters may go up. The charter system may go away. I don't think it will. I don't think the owners are going to let it go away. I think there's so much money involved, but the value is going to go up. Does 2311 overpay for 2 charters from Stewart-Haas? Is Tony Stewart and Gene Haas willing to sell 2 charters if they don't have the sponsorship to run 4 cars? Or would they lease them, or would 2311 even be interested in leasing them? With Eric Almirola, possible retirement, Paris's contract is up this year. Only Josh Berry and Chase Briscoe are under contract next year. Now, if we look at 2311, we know that, Mr. Jordan himself sold the Charlotte Hornets for $3 billion. Could he spend $50 million of that on a couple charters, $60 million on a couple charters? He's still a minority owner of it. He bought the team for $275 million. He sold it for $3 billion. There's a capital gains there that he's either got to reinvest or he's got to pay taxes on, or how they can financially do all that. But I know when you have a capital gains, you've got to pay taxes on it. The last charter that sold was the 00 Starcom, sold to 2311, the 45 charter now, for $13.5 million. I believe Justin Marks bought Chip Ganassi Racing for like $30 or $40 million. I think it would be interesting. One thing that some of the dominoes that could fall from this is if Denny Hamlin leaves Joe Gibbs and goes to either a Stewart-Haas car and or they buy charters and they go 2311. If they buy 2 charters, that leaves 1. Ford is real high on Zane Smith. There's nowhere to put him. That would give you a place to put him. Denny wants to expand to 4 cars. Put Denny in the car, Tyler, Bubba, Zane Smith. At Stewart-Haas, you still will leave Josh Berry and Chase Briscoe. That leaves I think the 11 goes with Denny, so that would leave the 18, because at 18, 19, 20, and 54 with Joe Gibbs. The 18 open at Joe Gibbs Racing. You've got John Hunter, 5 wins Xfinity Series. He's ready to move up. You could put Corey Heim in that 20 car. Jesse Love into the truck, in the 11 truck. So it's like those dominoes all fit. It gives Ford that another team. Riley Herbst maybe goes to Brickway Racing in their second car with Justin Haley. That opens the Xfinity ride for Stewart-Haas. For maybe Haley Deegan. Ford's high on her. Then that way, in 3 or 4 years, when Denny's ready to hang up his helmet, maybe you have Haley Deegan ready to take that over. You also have Roger Carruth out there now from the Truck Series, because GMS is announcing their closing. Is there a possibility of Toyota switching, or 2311 switching from Toyota to Ford? I think there is. I think if you look at the stats, so right now you have Penske, Stewart-Haas, RFK, Front Row are the big 4 teams. This year so far, Penske has 2 wins, RFK has 2 wins, Front Row 1, Stewart-Haas 0, 2311 1. Average finishes this year, RFK's averaged both cars, averaged 13.5. 2311's averaged 16.8, Penske's averaged 17.02. And then Stewart-Haas is 19.71 and Front Row is 19.94. So 2311 on the average finish wise would be their second best Ford team. Stewart-Haas's agreement with Ford ends at the end of 24. They can go back to Chevrolet. Could they go to Toyota for 25? Could Dodge come in for 25? Because I know Tony Stewart runs Dodge on the drag racing side. Does Tony get out altogether? Does Gene Haas get out because he's got the F1 stuff? So I think there's more to this rumor than just a rumor. There are people talking about it. As a fan of 2311, I don't hate the idea. Denny coming over, getting those 2 charters, putting Zane Smith in the car, maybe something where Haley Deegan's kind of going to be the heir apparent to Denny Hamlin. Bubba's still there, Tyler's still there. Maybe, I don't hate the idea. But that's just things that I've kind of noticed about this. We'll have to wait and see over the next couple months. But it's kind of weird that the news kind of broke on this, and Denny starts saying his contract is complicated with Joe Gibbs Racing the week of the season finale. When Denny's already locked into the playoffs, Tyler's already locked in, and Bubba's trying to lock in. So you kind of it's almost like Denny wants to take the spotlight off of this race to put on him. We'll see. My thoughts are, I don't hate the idea. Let's wait and see. So, will 2311 switch from Toyota to Ford? We'll wait and find out. I don't hate the idea. I'm rooting for it. I think it might be just a switch up that we need in NASCAR to get people to go, what? And that's kind of the reaction I had when I first heard the possibility of it. But again, nothing's set in stone. Lee Spencer, catchfence.com, has been reporting it. They talked about it on TMD a little bit and some of the NASCAR shows. I want to go ahead and get my 2 cents out there, what I thought could possibly happen if it were to go down. We'll have to wait and see. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a scrippy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.